Hey everybody, anyone out there? Leave me a comment if you're here. Hey Lonnie, I can't see the live yet on my computer. It's kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna wait just a few minutes. It's not quite 4, and then we'll get started. This is what we're gonna be using today. I can't see the video yet, the live on my computer, so I'm gonna have a hard time seeing comments. I don't know what's going on. Ah, there we go. Now I see it. Okay, I know Carmen was gonna come in, so I'm gonna wait just a few minutes to let her find it. Are you having a good weekend, Lonnie? Mine is going okay. All right, let's get started. So for this class today, I am using the Scalloped Wishes bundle. It includes the stamp set, and then these are the dies. And just so you know, this die right here literally cuts out an oval, and then it cuts out this, and it comes out in 2 pieces, which is kind of cool. So let's get started. Okay, let me make sure I have all my stuff. Okay, tools ready, let's go. So this is the first card we're making, and the measurements for this are basic white thick, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you'll have a piece of the designer paper. This is all I'm using today is the paper medley. And that's a 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're gonna need a piece of basic white, 3 by 3.5, and it's for this large scallop. It is already cut in your packets. And then you'll need 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's actually for this, and you'll need 1 in Misty Moonlight and 1 in basic white. So, there you have it. So let's get started. We're going to, oh, I can't, hold on. Hang on. Gotta get my stamping mat. Okay, so for this one, we're using Misty Moonlight ink. And we're going to use the cattails, I don't know. And we're just gonna stamp this on right here. Just like that. And I would wait and stamp this after, especially if you're gonna use the white, because it does stamp on the bottom. But anyway, now let's stamp the inside of the card. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today, but you know, I'm probably used to that. Okay, so for the inside, we're gonna use the So Very Happy For You. And we're just gonna stamp it right in the middle, just like that. Am I up far enough? And then I just wanna add a few of the little dragonflies. Okay, now we need to put this whole thing together. I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. On the front. This paper is really cute and it goes with anything. It's not like stamp set related. And then we're going to put that right there. And then I'm going to get my liquid glue. I get so many questions about this. This is actually just a applicator that I bought on Amazon. You can also get it on Dick Blick. And I fill it with our liquid glue. So I'm just going to put it around, and then this is going to go right in the middle. And the dies are all designed to work together, so the little swirly thingies match. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the inside. I just saw your comment, Leilani. That's not very nice. Just so that it pops up a little bit. And there you have, oh no, wait, let's put some. These are the In Color butterflies. They're so, so cute. So, and they don't really have Misty Moonlight, but I don't care. I'm just gonna use whatever color I want. Let's use yellow this time. These are the golden, oh my gosh, I forgot what it was called. Golden Globe. Is that right? Golden Glow. There you have the first card. Just like that. Put that away. I have this pile on to the left of me and I just throw everything over there. Okay, the next card we're gonna make, let me put those away so I don't lose them, is this one. And we're using, it actually folds up. I thought I'd fake you guys out. So the card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and you score it in half at 5 1/2. And then you're gonna need 14 inches of the bordered ribbon in crisp cantaloupe. This, of course, is Calypso Coral. You'll have 2 pieces of basic white. They're both 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to stamp on one. And then another piece of the Paper Medley DSP. I don't need this anymore. Just saw it and you know I'm going to put my stuff in it. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this. This side is really pretty too. It's kind of a Calypso Coral wood design. Okay, now I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to just tie a knot right here. And then trim it. Put that aside for now. Now we're going to stamp. We're going to stamp the little oval, the pretty little oval, and I'm going to stamp it in crisp cantaloupe. If you guys haven't gotten these new ink pads, you need them. They're so nice. Just like that. Set that aside. And then I'm going to use Calypso Coral. These two colors work really well together, so. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna magically cut that out at the Big Shot. I'm good. Okay, now on the inside piece, I want to stamp. I'm just gonna use my little dragonfly. And I'm just gonna clean it off real quick. We don't want blue on our cantaloupe card. And I'm gonna use crisp cantaloupe. I'm just going to stamp it up the side. Just like that. And then we're going to put that on the inside, and then we'll put the rest of the card together. Okay, so this I want to put, I haven't glued this down because I thought I might need to move the bow a little, and I did. So I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals again. Just like that. Throw it in my non-existent trash can, aka floor. Okay, there you have that. Now we just put it on our card front. Just like that. There you have card number 2. Okay, let me put all this away. I still need Calypso Coral, but I don't need Scallloped. Our next card we're making out of Darling Duckling. Okay, so let's get started with those dimensions. So you need a piece of Darling Duckling, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're going to need a piece of designer paper that is 3 3/4 by 5, and I've already cut out my big oval. Then you have a piece of basic white that is 3 by 3.5, and this is where we're going to stamp. And then this is basically just a scrap for the sentiment, and then some twine that is about 10 inches or so. So we're going to stamp. We're using Darling Duckling, and we're going to stamp a big scallop. You're going to glue this behind the DSP, so don't worry about it too much where you stamp it. And then we're going to stamp, oops, better clean that off, cattails again, still in Darling Duckling, just like that. And now we're going to use Calypso Coral again, just to stamp 2 dragonflies, just like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit, I'm going to use liquid glue just so that it's easier to move around. And then you're just going to layer it. Really, you're going to layer it. There we go. Sorry. And then, see, it's crooked on the back. Doesn't matter because you won't ever see it. And then just put this right in the middle here. And now we'll get started on the sentiment. We're just using the little hello, and I'm going to use Calypso Coral ink. Don't know why I put that away. Okay. And then we're going to use the 3 banner punch, and I want to use this one right here, and I want the hello to be this way. So I'm going to have to hold it upside down a little, just like this, and then cut. And then I'm going to trim it off just a little because I want it to be shorter. And so there you have that. And now I want to, I'm going to add a little bit of Stampin' Seal. And my twine, I'm just going to wrap this a couple of times around my finger. Just like that. Hey Carmen, I just saw your comment. I'm so glad you found it. Okay, so I put it on just like that. It doesn't really matter how you do it. It can be, I think it looks better messier, but I have a hard time doing it messy. Now I'm going to use, you could put dimensionals on here, but I want it to be a little more solid. So I'm going to use these foam adhesive sheets. And I don't need very much. So I just trim off a little bit. And then I put this right over the top. So see, it kind of holds your twine in place. And then you just take off the back. It's just like a dimensional, just a whole dimensional, like, you know, a whole sheet. And then this is just going to go right here. And so there you have the card. Here's the original. All right, last but not least. Hold on, I gotta clean off my thing. All right, this is actually one of my favorites because I love the new Peaceful Pine. So this is what you get in your packet. This is a piece of designer paper, of the designer paper that is 3.5 by 4. You'll need a Peaceful Pine card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4. And then you'll need a piece of Peaceful Pine that is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's just for this piece right here. You'll need a little scrap of vellum, and then a little scrap, teeny tiny, of the little, for the dragonfly. And I got it in a Darling Duckling. I think it was just a scrap. You use whatever you have. But if you get the card packet, it will have yellow. Darling Duckling. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and this is the card we're making. Oh, and you will need a piece of the bordered ribbon in Peaceful Pine, and this is about 6 inches. It just needs to go across. Oh, excuse me. My goodness. Okay, so I'm going to glue the DSP onto one of the basic whites, and you just want it towards the bottom. Oh, I always do that. I pull it too close to myself and nobody else can see it. Okay, just like that. You can always, if it's too wide, you can always take paper snips and trim it off. This one's not too bad. Now to add the ribbon, I'm just going to put a little bit of snail. You could use tear and tape. And then I'm going to, well, I'm not going to use that. Okay, we're going to use liquid glue. Okay, now I'm going to put the ends of the ribbon back, and then I'm going to stick this right to the card front. That's dangerous because I still have to stamp the sentiment, so wish me luck. Okay, so I'm going to clean off my hello, clean off my cattails again, and then I'm going to stamp. Oh no, wait, let's put this, let's see, cattails, Peaceful Pine ink. And I'm just going to stamp directly onto the Peaceful Pine cardstock. Just like that. And this is going to go on with, I don't know if I did it with Stampin' Dimensionals, but I'm going to do it now. We can change things up as we go, right? And then this is just going to go a little off center. And I'm going to stamp my hello right there. Now, this was the hardest part of this card. So I want the little body to go on top of the vellum. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue. You don't want a lot. And then he just glues right on. And then you're going to have to just let it dry for a second. And then put a little bit more on. You don't need a lot of glue. And then I'm just going to glue that right to just like that. Now for the inside, we're just going to do the cattails again. You can do as many as you want. And then I'm going to clean off this, and I'm going to stamp a couple of the dragonflies. Dragonflies scare me to death, but I think they're so pretty. But I don't like them to be near me. All right, now we're going to glue this on the inside. There you have it. There are our 4 cards. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's the other one. 4. What do you guys think? Which one's your favorite? I do like the green one the best, although this one's pretty too. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had fun. If you want to place an order, any order of $50 or more, I will send you the free card packet. If you spend $75 or more, I'll include a pack of Mini Stampin Dimensionals. The orders need to be placed by Monday, which would be the 8th, so June 8th. It's a little bit shorter now, only because I had to postpone it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming, especially when I was so wishy-washy. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.